The hotspot continues right here, and it is time, my friends, for the second round of our Candidate Conversations series, where we profile the many Guam men and women who have made the decision and the conscious choice to represent you as members of the legislature. Now, moving forward to November's general election, of course, the men and women that advance past the primary, they got a little bit of work to do. They may change up their strategies, maybe like fine-tune their approach, but nonetheless, they have not wavered from their desire to serve you, and honorably so. So joining us right now on the KUM couch, and we wish to congratulate both Ian Catling, Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano, and David Crisostomo on your very impressive finishes in the primary. So congratulations to you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Any nerves going into this one?
Just cool as a cucumber right now. Just riding this out, you know, just enjoying the ride so far.
So Ian and Dr. Marsh, this is your second time on the couch. David, we did not have the pleasure of being able to meet you the first time around, but we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. This is your first time in KUM too?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We hope the parking was adequate, you know, like hopefully it wasn't raining.
My truck fit.
The truck fit, okay.
Yeah, the truck fit.
Pickup or lowrider or,
No, it's a pretty full-size truck.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very, very nice.
Yes.
Oh, that's a Guam classic right there. All right. So we are going to give each one of you 60 seconds with which to introduce yourself to the community, and it'll be that camera right there. And we'll just start in order. So Ian Catling, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you very much. Hafaday. My name is Ian Catling, Guahusi Ian Catling, familiar in Hilario Sinicholas, Sarasa, Zengin, Balitres. I am here today just to support our government with all its endeavors. Background is in education. I'm a former Department of Education teacher. I am also a former historic preservation specialist with the Department of Parks and Recs. And the goal here is to make sure that our island is as world-class as our tourism here. Tourism is world-class. We want to make sure our education is world-class. We want to make sure our facilities are world-class. And so that's what our team is focused on.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations once again. Now you said you're related to a familia in Balitres.
Yes, correct. One
of your contemporaries in the legislature, I believe Chris Barnett, is also a familia in Balitres, as well as I believe Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio.
Yes, this has turned out to, this is the reason why cool as a cucumber. The blessings here, this has turned into like a family reunion for me. From Jigu to Maleso, I am finding relatives all over the place, and it is so just humbling. I'm just grateful.
All right. Well done in the primary. And I know someone who is very used to having a great many conversations and shaking a lot of hands is former Senator Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano. So welcome back.
Oh, well, thanks for having me back. And it's enjoyable to be here with these two. We found a lot in common while we were waiting to start the show.
All right. Absolutely. I got to say, we'll give you 60 seconds now. But first, Kelly, I got to say, I love the jacket.
Oh, well, thank you.
That
and
is tremendous.
Top.
Absolutely. very positive. And I think that fits your personality to a T.
Oh, thanks so much.
All right. So you have 60 seconds.
Yes. So, Suduas Maasi, my name is Kelly Marsh Taitano. I am a daughter of Guam. I have grown up in Dededo, some of the time here, and even Ipan Talafofo. And I really think that that's helped me understand Guam in many ways. I have a master's degree in Micronesian Studies, a PhD in Cultural Heritage Studies, and I have taught as an adjunct professor for over 14 years at the University of Guam. I am a proven leader. I was a senator in the 35th legislature, and I was able to, even during the pandemic, I was able to pass 12 bills into law, and they were about creating the Sustainable 2050 Guahan Plan, putting together the very first early voter bill, and putting together the Intra-Regional Commerce Commission bill that became law. And I want to get back in there and make sure that it's impaneled and really serves the community of Guam by building up our economy throughout the region.
Certainly. And you said, you do feel as if you have unfinished work and you want to get back in the fight.
Absolutely. There are so many things I'd love to continue to do. We have the Trademark Commission, and again, we felt that we would have finished it if the pandemic hadn't started, but so many of our local entrepreneurs and cultural artists and cultural entrepreneurs, they feel like they really need that sort of protection. We don't need these large international companies like Nike or Adidas coming in and taking cultural symbols or some of the hard work that our entrepreneurs have done, and it has happened in the Pacific where things like that have been taken and used by these international companies.
Very true. So well done, Dr. Marsh. I used to pronounce it Adidas too.
Well, apparently
It was
when I was in Germany,
it was also an acronym, I remember, but we can't get into that because that's
in Germany, and I believe he is a German. They said Adidas, and it really threw me for a loop, but because I had grown up with it being Adidas. But apparently Puma and Adidas were brothers who had a falling out, and they both became international, recognized companies.
She is very, very well read, obviously. And you know what? Professionalism, as far as a broadcaster, is right out the window on the show, because I'm really going to try and make Dr. Marsh Taitano laugh, because she's got one of the most infectious laughs that I've ever. There you go. That's a little sneak peek of it. So thank you once again. All right, David Crisostomo. Again, a pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you for your service, because you are a retired member of the United States Navy, which we appreciate.
I did 10 years, I'm sorry.
10 years, okay. Okay,
yes.
So you have 60 seconds.
Yeah, half a day, everyone. Like I say, thank you, Jason, for having me here. Really appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
My name is David Walter Mantononia Crisostomo. I'm Guam native. I was born and raised in Ipan, Talafofo. Right after, let me give you a little resume of myself. Starting, it's going to quite not too long, but anyways, I served in the U.S. Navy. After the Navy, I attended college for 2 years out of San Diego Community College. I've worked in the corporate world, did a lot of sales, real estate, in the auto industry. Currently, I'm in Guam. I'm a small business owner. I'm also a veteran. One of the main reasons I'm running is actually after encountering a lot of our veterans here, with their concerns and actually their needs, we need to start addressing it and start hitting it hard. Let me just end for that right now, and we can continue this interview. All right,
very, very well.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you real quick, Mr.
Yes.
Crisostomo. What meal did you eat, going into the primary election? Because, they say, of course, breakfast is the most important meal. That night, it's a very, very long night. I'm sure all of you, had red eye the next day and everything. But what did you fuel yourself with to really get you going?
I used to drive boats for the U.S. Navy, and I used to drive them 12 hours, and 24 off. Bologna and cheese.
Very nice.
That's it.
Can't go wrong with
And
that.
water.
You got your protein, you got a little bit of the good kind of fat, and you got your carbs.
Yeah, it works.
Very nice. With lettuce or without?
Without, no mayonnaise.
Simple man,
Very
simple plan,
works.
Effective solutions. And hopefully that is the same approach that you take into the legislature.
Yes, I'm looking at that.
All right. Okay, so let's go into our Q&A portion right now. And just like we did with our introductions, each of you will have 60 seconds. So Ian, we'll start with you. I know when it came to the election results, there were 16 Republicans, 15 advanced. You were right on the cusp there.
Right on the cusp.
And as you've said, you've been all the way from Jigo all the way down to Humatec, having conversations, meeting people, trying to get the word out about yourself and the work that you would like to do.
That's right.
Because now this is for all the marbles. There's only 15 that's going to make it of the 15 on either side, right?
That's correct.
How do you actually position yourself in a more favorable top of mind, if you will, like in the eyes of the voter that they might consider you?
Well, the intention is for more community outreach during this time period. The difficulty is being able to get the time in. This election happened, I had too much time in the beginning, and then now I have not enough time. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this. So ideally, I would like to do more community outreach. I was planning on doing, back in the day, just to support Chamorro heritage, the chiefs used to engage in a feat of strength, a display of strength to show that they deserve, through meritocracy, through their own efforts, to be who they are within the community. So the intention is before the general elections, I'm going to run around the island. So from Malesu to Jigo.
Have you formally announced that yet, or is this an
This
exclusive?
is today. This is exclusive.
You heard it right here on Hotspot, everybody. You are going to run around the island.
That is correct.
Okay.
That
Now,
is,
we're a 30-mile long by 7-mile
that is,
wide island. It's way longer than that when you go all the way around the perimeter.
This is turning into Forrest Gump. People want to join me from different parts of the leg. They I wanted to run here, so they'll join me over there. So
From that moment on, Ian Catling was running.
Right.
Literally and figuratively.
Literally and figuratively, but
Figuratively,
very,
yes.
very nice.
Yes, that is the intention.
Okay, so and again, this is symbolic of like you said, our history,
That is correct.
proving your
That's-
worth and proving your fitness.
I wanted to swim, but then I did the research and it was like 200 miles, and I was like, no, absolutely not. So I compromised. We're running.
Very well. Do you know Frank the Crank Camacho? Like
Yes.
Yeah, he did a similar feat. I want to say maybe about close to 2 years ago. He was raising funds and everything. So you could talk to him about like what route to take and everything like that. So Frank,
This is going to be a vision quest.
Very nice.
That's the intention of this whole process.
that's a very good movie from the 80s too, wrestling. I know
Fantastic.
our guy Mike Villagomez is a wrestler too, so he knows about that movie. All right, so let's go. Very well done, Ian.
Thank you.
Okay, Kelly, you did very, very favorably. You were right in the middle of the pack for the Democrats. You finished at number 10. You've been through this before, knowing the mathematics and how it works and everything. Were you satisfied with your position and how the voters of Guam came out and lent you their support? And do you change up anything strategically heading into the general?
Well, we had an interesting situation where we had 21 people contending for those 15 seats. And so you can't take anything for granted. So I was pleased to come in 10. And of course, you always want to do a little bit better. You want to work a little bit harder. You want to reach out a little bit more. And so that's definitely in the works. To do all of that, reaching out to the community more, to the nonprofits, the organizations, and to some of the agencies as well.
Mm-hmm. Does it feel different this time around, with the approach you take and, people know your face, they remember the good work that you did, they've been able to dialogue with you before. What is different about running this time and trying to, not really reintroduce yourself, but like just telling people, it's like, hey, I want to, again, get back in the fight?
Right. Well, that has been a really nice experience where people are very positive. A whole lot of people do remember me. And so it's nice to have that recognition as a person. And, I still have people that remember my father very favorably. So along with wanting to hear their concerns or what they want to see happen, and it's so interesting because it's really a wide arena of things that people have as interests, all of which are important, of course. But it's an opportunity to have some of those memories about my father and my mother as well, or even my uncle and aunt who taught down at Inalahan. And so I really treasure those because it's been fairly recently that I lost both my parents. And so I treasure those moments and I really appreciate anybody who's sharing those. But most important during this season is to hear their concerns and find out how I can continue to serve, not just for the now, but I really am working for a bright future. Okay. That long-term planning, and with that Guahan 2050 sustainability plan law that I put into place, it updated our comprehensive development plan, taking it from when it was put into place decades ago by the Bordallo administration. So just wanting to help them have a bright future.
All right, and of course it is written, honor your father and your mother, and our condolences to you.
Who was a runner.
Yeah, honor our condolences to you, for the loss of your parents. I lost my dad 4 years ago, so our prayers are with you, of course.
Yeah, thank you.
David, like to talk to you. One thing that I noticed about your signs, I was up in Jigo just over the long holiday weekend. You are one of the few candidates who actually shoots like their picture like straight on. Some people do like the side profile thing, but your signs, I may say, like as someone who was trying to get into the advertising industry way back, very, very welcoming, very warm, very engaging.
Thank you.
Do you actually take that approach in trying to promote your platform to people and the things that you stand for?
Yeah, let me just state this, there's a reason why I say we connect. It's because basically, for the past month, I've been really connecting with a lot of the grassroots, a lot of the normal common people and needs. And for me, whatever they're saying to me is really important, okay? And to channel with it, grab those things, those challenges, and work on it. Mm-hmm. And, and here's the biggie for me right now in regards to why I'm running for senator. I mean, we have a serious drug problem.
Yes.
Okay?
We do.
Okay? We can't put that on the back burner. And because I own a business and I meet a lot of different people, a lot of first responders, right? And the best information you can get is down in the foundation. Regular police officers, Okay, I didn't realize that we were so undermanned. Okay, we have a problem there. And I'm just looking at them. I asked them a few questions. I said, so how much are you getting paid, my friend? You know, and they're giving me this number, and I'm looking at them, and I say, you know what? You know, for me, their pay is not enough, okay, for what they do, okay? Because I could relate to them because I was a veteran, okay? They, you know, when they leave home each day, whether you're a fireman or a police officer, okay, you don't know if they're coming back.
Exactly.
Okay? They miss so many birthdays, anniversaries, you know? It's just like being deployed, you know, and I feel them. And the other thing that I asked them, I said, so by the way, what's you guys' retirement like, you know? And they were telling me, I said, why isn't it like 25 years? I said, do people understand all the stress level you guys are going through? You know, and they said, yeah. I said, you know, if elected, I'm gonna push that. And just excuse my language, even if we have to start kicking knees, we need to get that done because we need to take care of them, okay? They're the
You're going to have to kick a lot more than leaves just to get this
knees,
job done.
Knees,
Yeah,
we're talking about
yeah.
knees, yeah. I'm not afraid. You know, I don't, I will accept.
I'm thinking of putting some shoe leather in someone's behind.
No,
but-
you know, I'm ready. I'm ready to help them, okay? And likewise also the veterans. I hear it. It's a lot. It's, for me, and I'm looking at it, right? It is a mess, okay? They're not
What
tooled correctly.
specifically about the treatment or mistreatment, as it were, of
No, they're
veterans?
not. For me, okay, because I'm a veteran, okay, my first ship actually, I was awarded on that command 3 battle leagues. That's battle efficiency. That means you're at top of the food chain, okay? If you could be man, you could have the weapons. If you don't have the bullets, you know what I'm saying? You're useless, okay? So I see these guys, that's what they're saying, we're not man enough. So maybe they're working overtime, you know, they're doing more hours than they're supposed to be. And that's just, you know, it just creates a lot of stress.
Absolutely.
I have
Okay.
one more thing to add.
All right, so
Never mind.
well done, all of you, and we are just getting
thank you.
started. Yep, very well done. We are just getting started, everybody, so please stay tuned because there is more Candid Conversations when the Hotspot returns right after this. You are watching The Hotspot and you are watching Candid Conversations, and if you are like me, you're having the time of your life right now because we're really getting to know the candidates, the Guamanians who want to use their talents, their passion, their skills, their intellect, their love for Guam to serve you in the legislature. Now, we are going to go to Ian, Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano, and David in just a moment, but we have some video questions that our community members actually sent in. So this first one is from a young person. Meet Gabriel.
My name is Gabriel, and I'm a first grader. My question is, how will you make Guam safer for kids like me?
Very, very cute. Oh, speaking of representing people, so we are going to take Gabriel's question. Gabriel, thank you so much. So a first grader wondering what each of you is going to do to make Guam safe for his generation, for Gabriel and his peers. So we'll start with you, Ian, on the topic of public safety for the young people.
Public safety for the young people. Gabriel is just too muggy. So,
And you're a teacher too.
and I'm a teacher. It's just a great job, parents. So part of our plan is to establish sovereign wealth funds for the island of Guam. And this will help out with public safety, education, and infrastructure. Those are state-owned funds that you can use to invest in the global market to accrue wealth. And so the Sovereign Wealth Fund, those can be established for public safety, as our senatorial candidate Crisostomo was saying. How are we going to fix these issues? All of the issues comes down to funding. And so even though I'm there for supporting education, for infrastructure, for local incentive plans, how we're going to accomplish all of that is through sovereign wealth funds.
Oh, very nice. All right, very well done. All right, Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano, here is your question, and this next video comes to us from Evelyn Duenas.
Hi, my name is Evelyn Duenas, and I am an individual with disability who lives on Guam for many years, all through my childhood. My question for the candidates is, when will we have services reliable for individuals with disabilities needing personal assistance services and reliable, comfortable, safe transportation run 7 days a week, including Sundays and holidays.
All right, I've seen Evelyn all over town. She's a real delight to have a question with. But Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano, she was saying she's wondering that as a person with disabilities, she's wondering what you'll do should you be reelected and reclaim your seat in the legislature to have personal assistance services and specifically reliable, safe, and comfortable forms of transportation.
You know, I've had the pleasure, as you have, of meeting Miss Evelyn. I distinctly recall having some conversations with her at the GPO. And so she brings up a really important issue, and we have to take it very seriously. We have to do what we can to improve mass transportation, improve these other services. You know, similar to what we were talking about before, it's good to have the framework there, but we are having some flexibility and relief with our funds. We've gotten certain relief put into place, and so we need to look at high needs like this and apply those funds there. Our people have waited too long to be adequately considered and supported in our community. So I definitely would be fighting for that and taking a closer look at it.
And one word I know you always use as someone who does speak fluent Chamorro is inafamaulik, and making sure that absolutely none of our people are left behind or uncared for.
Absolutely, and you're very kind with the fluent Chamorro. My Fino Chamorro is DDD, but you know, I do try, and I'm really proud of the couple of times I've actually dreamt in Chamorro. So I don't know if others have here.
Oh, very nice.
You know, I was taking Chamorro at the time, and we were working on it on a daily basis, and was quite amazed to have had dreams in ChamorroNet, because it is DDD. They were very simple dreams, you know, pick up the pencil, turn off the light switch, things like that. But I found that to be very cool. But
the only dreams I've ever had in Chamorro was my grandmother, God rest her soul, saying "Ombi Jason." You know, so those are my Chamorro, and they're very yeah, Aguguat, super. All right, so thank you very much, Kelly. All right. Now, of course, Ian is our resident educator, and David, for your question, we go to another island educator. This video question comes to us from John Camacho.
Hi, my name is John, and I'm in education. My question is specifically for the candidates who aren't sitting in a senatorial position right now. What are some of the inefficiencies you've seen from the current legislative body that you'd like to address if you're elected?
Very interesting question, and thank you, John, for that. I know John's done like a couple stories with us. He's a very, very bright young man. He's got some really, really good ideas. Very good, very well represented is John, of course. So David, he was saying, not being a member of the legislature right now, from your vantage point and your perspective, what are some of the inefficiencies that you see with the current legislative body? And if in fact elected, how would you change that? What will you do differently?
You know what I just like observing, you know, and looking, okay? First of all, whether you're Republican or Democrat, we all need to learn to migrate, okay? We all to start, you know, working together. I see sometimes, you know, because we're all Chamorros, you know, at the end of the day, and we're all fighting and trying to work things just for the best of the island. It's a very simple process. What was the other one he was asking?
Just saying, like, what are some of the inefficiencies you see with current senators, and what will you do differently?
You know, I'll work with them, and I don't mind reaching across the aisle just to accomplish something that's needed. You know, I'm not looking for wants. It's what we need to move forward, as you know, for Guam, for the people of Guam.
That's a very good concept. I'm sure the lovely lady sitting to the right of you would say it's easier said than done, but you know, it is an ambitious goal.
You know, you don't have to sugarcoat this thing. You know, I
Good
probably
point.
speak very blunt, but sometimes we may have to be blunt to accomplish what we need to get done.
Very good.
Very simple.
And I think that's a perfect answer, so thank you, David.
Thank you very much.
Very well done. All right, we have some, we are calling this the last five. We have a lightning round, if you will.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to put your thinking caps on. These aren't, you know, I mean, you know, you're not gonna have to give another dissertation, Kelly. You've already done that once. And Ian, this isn't a pop quiz, so don't
That's
don't
right.
hold me against that. But just some slice of life things that we'd like to know about each of you. So we'll start again in order. So we'll go real down the road real fast. Okay, Ian, favorite movie?
The Six Limitations.
Okay, very nice. Kelly, favorite
Ooh,
movie?
Same question. That's really kind of tough. I feel like I haven't watched a movie in kind of forever, so, with the pandemic. So I'm going to go to a go-to of books that I really read avidly growing up, and it was the Dr. Dolittle series.
Very nice.
And some of the
Those were good
mystery
movies too.
series.
Okay.
Yeah,
For some
yeah.
reason, I thought you were going to say My Fair Lady, but I thought Rex Harrison,
I had
musical
a Jane
person.
Austen period.
Okay.
And I do enjoy those, but as I've gotten older, I like our part of the world so much that I've kind of left that behind.
Very
and
nice.
Very much more about our own locally produced, Pacific-centered sort of movies.
Okay, that makes perfect sense that Dr.
Yeah.
Kelly Marsh Taitano would be into Jane Austen. You are someone of sense and sensibility, of course, in my opinion. All right, David Crisostomo, your favorite movie, sir?
All the Rambos.
Okay, all the Rambo, very good. If I had to hold you to just one of them, would you do part 2 where he had like the explosive, the arrows and?
It all starts with number 1, so we have to start with number 1.
Okay.
I like the first one.
Okay, very good. It wasn't my war! I can't even get a job driving cars! I've seen that movie like 1,000 times. All right. Okay.
yeah.
Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano kind of let the cat out of the bag for this one, but our next round, Ian, what is the last book you read?
Chogyam Trungpa, Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism.
Very cool. So a little bit of Zen mentality, perhaps?
He takes Buddhism and explains it into greater detail and depth by providing more humanity to the text.
Okay, if we get any money from Amazon for this segment and everything like that, we'll make sure to give you a cut for your
Please,
excellent recommendation.
please.
All right, Kelly, the last book you read, not necessarily your favorite.
Well, I did a lot of research for Guampedia in the last couple of years, and so I was reading a lot actually about World War II. Post-World War II, we're really trying to beef up the 1950s, 1960s, and 70s sort of era. So what I found really interesting, and I'd love to see a movie about it, is about that period of time, because the characters that were involved, we had Harold Ickes, who was the Secretary of the Interior, and he's a self-proclaimed curmudgeon. And so the national and international battle between him and the Secretary of the Navy was epic. And so I can picture Tom Hanks being the Secretary of the Navy, and I'm not quite sure who would be Harold Ickes, but they were really key in setting up things. Harold Ickes was for indigenous rights to a degree.
Okay, and I got to give you 5 seconds.
Self-determination, and some of those things that we really treasure out of the United Nations, he was really key in setting those up and in helping fight for the Organic Act and civil
well.
rights for tomorrow.
All right, so we asked for a book, we got a movie. We asked for a movie, we got a book. Very creative.
Sure.
Well done. All right, David Crisostomo, the last book you read.
Okay, the last book I read, I've been reading for a while. As a matter of fact, for over 10, 15 years, but I always refer back to it and I always go there. Rich Man, Poor Man. Yeah.
Okay, who wrote that?
Actually, the reason why I like reading that, because it's built characters. It just makes, it put these thinking process of your life. And what it does, it creates self-esteem, and more positive.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a very good book, and I always
Also
read
probably
it.
keeps you very, very well grounded and
Yeah,
humble, which is a trait of all tomorrows.
You have to.
All right, well, very well done. All right, next question. Okay, and we need to make this real quick because we're running out of time. But Ian, your favorite professional sports team? Who do you ride or die for?
Green Bay Packers.
Packers. Go Pack, go.
It's owned by Green Bay, so that's why I love that. I also went to school in Wisconsin, but it's the only franchise in the NFL that's owned by the town.
Okay, so if you had to pick one between Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, or Bart Starr, who are you going to go with?
I got to go Favre all the way.
There you go. The only person who will ever wear number 4 in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Again, good answer. All right, Kelly, are you much of a sports fan? Who would be your favorite professional sports team?
My
And we got to limit this to 10-minute answers.
Yeah. My father was such an avid sports fan. He was a basketball coach, a running coach, a track and field official, like all his adult life. So he would really struggle with me in not watching professional sports. But one of his proudest moments, so when I was in Australia, I was working on my PhD. One would like to think that he was proud of me for my PhD, and yes, he was.
We got to wrap it up real quick.
His proudest moment was that the best female basketball player in the world was from the same town, and I actually stood next to her at a hardware store. So that was his like favorite moment.
Australia women's basketball is world renowned.
Yeah.
The boomers. The boomers and the, what do they call I'm forgetting it right now.
My father could have told you.
Yeah, the Australian basketball, I believe, is ranked second in the world right now. All right, David Crisostomo, your favorite professional sports team, if you would, please,
Okay, I would like to consider them professional. Talafofu Rangers.
Nice.
You know why? Because I am an alumni of the Talafofu Rangers. I used to play ball for the Rangers back in the 70s.
Okay, what position?
I was a catcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, who's your favorite catcher? I'm thinking you're a Yogi Berra guy.
I don't remember Po Diego, who used to play with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like in the major leagues, maybe like Yogi Berra,
Yeah,
Johnny
I
Bench.
started when I was Little League.
Okay.
So you're not. Can I just share one experience that
Real
I had?
quick. We got about 20
This
seconds.
is very important. This is very important. You know, as I was making my round down, during the primary, down in Mariso, I met this group of kids. And when I was there with them, we chummy in there for like 30 minutes. I was talking to them. None of them even had a cell phone in their hand. I was so proud. So they were out there playing football. I was joining them. We were just having fun. And as I was looking at them, it was bringing me back to my childhood. So I was like, I just wanted to mention that because it meant a lot for me.
All right. So well done, David Crisostomo. Well done, Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano, and well done, Ian Catling. Obviously, very, very passionate, very knowledgeable, very well-rounded, and each of them really, really loves to talk. So if you should happen to see them heading into the general election, stop them on the side of the street, strike up a conversation with them, because that's what we did right here, and we appreciate each and all of you for giving us some of your time. I know heading into the general, there's not a lot of it, but we wish you all the best in your campaign.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
That is going to do it. There you go. Hey, that is going to do it. Let's all throw one of those up. Love, everybody. That's what we need in this world. That is Canada Conversations, and that is the hotspot for today. Have a wonderful lunch. We'll see you tonight for Primetime at 6. Bye-bye.